working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon to you. I'm Alex Fisher. We begin with new information about the deadly hit-and-run accident on Highway 99 last week. The crash happened on the 99, just south of Hosking Road on Friday evening. CHP says a car crashed into the back of a semi, killing 18-year-old Chandler Bay Lynn and 24-year-old Donald McCrae. The semi took off, leaving the car in the middle of the highway. The car was then hit by an SUV. The semi-truck driver, 52-year-old Aurelio Castaneda, was arrested on suspicion of felony hit and run over the weekend. CHP says Castaneda has been released. Charges are pending. Homelessness in Kern County is an issue we continue to follow very closely here at KGET, and the city of Bakersfield wants to hear from you once more about the development of a new homeless center. The next public meeting is happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. The city of Bakersfield is looking at two possible locations for a new low-barrier shelter. The original proposal is a site on East Brundage Lane near Mount Vernon Avenue, while the alternative is a site on Brown and East 18th Street. The City Council revisits the shelter site issue on January 22nd. To weigh in and express your opinion, you can head to Mechanics Bank Arena tomorrow at 6 p.m. And just a reminder, Kern County's homeless count is coming up. During the point-in-time count, hundreds of volunteers will be sent all over Kern County to get an estimate on how many people live without shelter. The count is happening January 24th, starting at 3:30 in the morning. You can learn more about how to sign up to volunteer on our website, kget.com. Bakersfield police continue their efforts to disrupt local illegal street racing and keep you safe on our roads. BPD's street racing enforcement operation was underway again this weekend. It started at 8 p.m. on Saturday night and ended at 2 a.m. on Sunday. There were 10 traffic stops, 7 citations, and 2 impounded vehicles. Officials say this operation will continue in the next several weeks in an effort to reduce street racing in our city. A man is recovering in the hospital after being shot in McFarland. It happened around 7:30 on Saturday night near the intersection of East Kern Avenue and Browning Road. McFarland police say a man was shot and taken to the hospital. Officers did not give us his condition, but they say he is stable. Police have not released information on who they believe is the shooter. All right, let's take a look at your forecast now with Kevin Charette, who's stepping into the Pinpoint Weather Center for a look at your forecast.
Yeah, taking you outside, and we're mostly sunny. There's a few clouds out there right now. Fog was really not an issue around the Bakersfield area, but other areas are still looking at the fog right now. As we take a look at the visible satellite, I've kind of circled it for you where that fog is actually still kind of a problem around the area. So if you are going to be traveling north and west of Bakersfield, that's where we're seeing it. If we show you the satellite and radar right now, be able to illustrate that a little bit. And you can see here Wasco seeing a little bit of that fog along with Buttonwillow and areas to the north just west of Delano. So if you are traveling in this area, that's where the fog is right now. All other areas mostly clear at this time. We're at 51 degrees in Bakersfield under a calm wind right now, and this afternoon we'll be in the upper 50s, slipping back into the 40s by 9 o'clock. And as we take a look at Tehachapi, 54 currently, a little bit of a breeze out of the east-southeast at 14, and today temperatures will be in the 50s and then back into the 30s by 9. I'll have much more in your forecast. That's coming up in just a little bit. Alex?
All right, Kev. Thanks so much, Kev. And we're following some breaking news of a crash involving a Bakersfield police cruiser. I want to take you to a picture that we got just moments ago, thanks to 17 News viewer Joe Minnie. It happened just after 11:30 this morning, so about 35 minutes ago, at Airport Drive and State Road. We do not have any other details about this crash, but we will let you know as soon as we learn more. Now, we do have a photographer who is on the way who says traffic is already backing up in the area, so try to avoid this area if you can. Again, this crash happening near Airport Drive and State Road. Again, we will keep you updated throughout this newscast if we learn any more information. Tensions between Washington and Tehran continue this afternoon to escalate in the wake of the U.S. airstrike that killed Iran's top general. NBC's Richard Engel has more from Iraq.
Funeral processions, unlike anything seen in decades, are continuing this morning, bringing Iran's supreme leader to tears as he vows to avenge his top general, Qasem Soleimani, killed by a U.S. drone strike in Baghdad. Cities across Iran are now seas of black. But Secretary Pompeo said it's all a short-term crisis.
preserving and protecting, defending America is the mission that we have. It may be that there's a little noise here in the interim.
Iran also said it's further scaling back commitments it made to limit its nuclear program. Next door in Iraq, the fallout is equally severe. Iraq's parliament voted to kick out the 5,000 U.S. troops in the country, although the order so far is not binding. President Trump fired back, telling reporters on Air Force One if Iraq does force U.S. troops to leave, he'll make Iraq pay for money the United States spent in Iraq, especially to build an expensive airbase. We're not leaving unless they pay us back for it, he said. President Trump and Iran are also dangerously trading very serious threats of war. A commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guard said his country has 35 U.S. targets in its crosshairs, ready to pull the trigger. President Trump tweeted over the weekend the U.S. has 52 targets identified, including cultural sites in Iran, even though targeting them would be a violation of the laws of war. President Trump defended that threat, saying Iran gets to torture and maim our people and we don't get to touch their cultural sites. It doesn't work that way. Richard Engel, NBC News, Erbil, Iraq.
Now to national news. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton says he's willing to testify in a Senate impeachment trial if subpoenaed. In a statement released today, Bolton says, "I have concluded that if the Senate issues a subpoena for my testimony, I am prepared to testify." Bolton has previously said he would not testify before the House Intelligence Committee during its impeachment investigation, unless he was subpoenaed and a judge ordered him to defy the White House by appearing before Congress. The former UN ambassador had a front row seat to the Trump administration's campaign against Ukraine to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden's son. House Democrats have yet to transfer 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump to the Senate. Well, do you know a teen who has always dreamed of being a firefighter? The Bakersfield Fire Department is currently looking for fire explorers, but today is the last day to apply. Explorers participating in meetings, drills, and more. Applicants must pass a series of tests and training. After, they may be eligible to ride along with the fire department for real emergency calls. To apply, send in your completed application to the Bakersfield Fire Department headquarters on H Street. For a full list of requirements, you can head to our website, kget.com. And again, just a reminder, today is the deadline to apply for that program. You may remember we told you about how dozens of teddy bears meant for sick children were stolen from a local church. But thanks to the support from our community, their donation box is now overflowing. The bear donation drive was organized by Teen Miss Kern River Valley, Callie Clausen, who says her own experience in the hospital made her want to give back. Last week, a donation box was set up at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Church on Rayner Road, and in a matter of days, 10 teddy bears were in the box. Then one day, church officials say they noticed all the bears were gone, apparently stolen during the busy holiday season. After a call to the community for help, donations exceeded expectations.
People were generous enough and were touched by the story and responded in a great way.
Clausen had hoped to collect 50 teddy bears, but that box is overfilled with toys for hospitalized kids, which is great to see. Well, still ahead, a hospital in Florida is helping kids going through treatment. The new journey prepared for these patients after the break. Welcome back. A hospital stay can be very stressful for patients and their families. So a children's hospital in Florida is on a mission to provide a place to escape for kids who are battling serious illnesses. Tori Dunnan has more.
On the grounds of the Palm Beach Children's Hospital sits a secret garden, a hidden oasis called the Dinosaur Garden.
I feel that Matthew is here. I feel that that's his smile. He always wore a baseball cap. He's looking at us, and he's happy.
Roberta Lehrman tries to keep her son Matthew's memory alive.
And he would love the garden.
She remembers what it was like to be in the hospital as he battled a rare pediatric cancer. He passed away right after finishing college. She now leads the foundation he fundraised for, finding and funding outlets for pediatric patients to escape reality.
And you forget you're in a hospital. You forget that you have to go back for treatment.
Choosing to help revitalize this garden at Palm Beach Children's Hospital.
Our pediatric patients are scared. They're in sort of a scary environment in the hospital. So this garden It's almost like a prehistoric paradise. So from his hospital bed, he wanted to, quote unquote, make it better.
It's home to dinosaur sculptures, music, lights, interactive xylophone flowers, and a beautiful mural created by artist Keith Goodson.
As an artist, that's what I live for, is to bring inspiration. Anytime that you can incorporate a person into an environment with a mural, it's always the best, especially if you can capture them, even the expression of who they are.
Matthew's mother says her son would have been proud.
Something positive, and that's what we want for children.
All right, let's take a look at your forecast now with Kevin Charette, who is in the Pinpoint Weather Center, and taking you outside our studios here in downtown Bakersfield. It's a pretty day out there.
It is a beautiful, beautiful start to the afternoon. We saw some clouds this morning, and breaking away a little bit. We've got more sunshine, but other areas not so much. Take a look at the camera network, and Wasco still has a good amount of fog there. It's starting to lift slowly. 48 degrees. Arvin looking great, partly cloudy, and then Fraser Park, clear skies, 51 degrees, and Golden Hills, you can see nice and sunny as we head into the afternoon. 51 degrees for Bakersfield right now under a calm wind. Our visibility, of course, is good at 10 miles, and overnight our temperature 43, so slightly above the normal 39. Normal high today is 55. We'll be above that, and 72 the record set back in 2001. Right now, valley temperatures right near 50 in Buttonwillow, 49 up to the north, and then for the mountains we're in the 50s right now. Desert locations also in the comfortable 50s. Mojave at 54, 51 in Ridgecrest. They were in the 20s this morning, and again, there's not much to show you except this little patch of fog that we have out near Derby Acres, and then areas to the north up near Buttonwillow and Wasco. Just this little line of fog that just doesn't want to erode. All other areas are looking mostly sunny right now, and you can see visibility's improved around the state. Areas to the north were zero visibility this morning for Tulare, Fresno, and Merced. Just a little patch up near Merced at 3 miles right now. Other than that, we've got clear skies around the state. No major changes on that front, at least for today, as high pressure is in control. But then we are going to watch this ridge weaken and move east in the coming days. That will open a door to see some weather move in. And I think really the headline is going to be the cloud cover. The model's now showing a lot of this moisture remaining north and really kind of coming to an end before it heads into the Kern County area. And this model goes for at least next Sunday. Here's a look at the rain amounts this morning. The models were putting actually about 600 of an inch into the Bakersfield area through Friday. Right now, it's pulled back, putting nothing in our area, and areas to the north have actually pulled back as well, so only about 1/10 of an inch out of the San Francisco area. Air quality will be moderate for you today with an AQI at 76, and we'll call for mostly sunny skies. 60 in Bakersfield, 58 in Delano, 57 in Buttonwillow and Taft for the mountains and the Kern River Valley, 52 in Fraser Park, Tehachapi at 53, and right near 59 for Lake Isabella and Kernville. Into the desert today, look for lots of sunshine, a light wind out of the northeast, 10 to 15, and a high of 57 in Mojave. Your extended forecast, and 64 tomorrow. On Thursday, mostly cloudy. I pulled back on the chance of rain, and we're going to watch these models carefully. And then Saturday, Sunday, another system will roll on in, giving us a slight chance of a shower. And then for the mountains, also looking nice through Wednesday. Some clouds, I think, for the most part on Thursday. Snow level will be down to 3,500 feet. If we can squeeze some of that moisture out, we will see a little bit of snow, but I don't think it'll accumulate much. 39 degrees on the high, and then 40s as we round out the weekend, work week, head into the weekend. And then for the Kern River Valley, tomorrow, a nice day with 62 and sunny, 50 and sunny on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we cool down back into the upper 40s with a slight chance of some rain and snow showers. So no big system heading our way anytime soon.
Oh, today is beautiful. I mean, it's a little chilly out there still, but it's still very nice, especially out in the sun.
Yeah, get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Kev. All right, well, giving away cash to change lives. It's an experiment that the mayor of Stockton hopes will boost the economy. But now people are asking, what are people spending the money on? We'll have a look coming up.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. What would you do with an extra $500 a month? I think a lot of us would know what we would do. But the mayor of Stockton believes the cash will change lives. Now nearly a year into the groundbreaking experiment, NBC's Sam Brock shows us how people are using the money.
In California's Central Valley, Stockton has seen its share of financial problems, but is now bouncing back. The city's embracing a radical new plan that could transform lives. Mayor Michael Tubbs is the architect.
Is Stockton a good representation of what American cities look like right now?
I think absolutely Stockton's a good representation in terms of the promise, but also some of the peril. 23% of our population lives in poverty.
Now, for 125 families, a monumental change in fortune. In February, Stockton kickstarted Seed. Funded with private money, the city sends $500 a month on debit cards, no strings attached, to random recipients. Chosen from neighborhoods where the median income is roughly $46,000 a year.
Here are the grapes.
They're betting people like Laura Plummer will spend wisely. Now, nearly a year into it, she says the program's already bearing fruit.
What does an extra $500 a month mean to you?
Ooh, it means a lot, because seriously, before Seed came along, I was paying a lot of bills and didn't know how I was going to eat.
The grandmother of 9 lives on a fixed income of just $1,500 a month. Simply hosting a family dinner was tough.
I had to ask the kids to put money in. I was so embarrassed.
Can you do that now that you have this money?
Oh, yeah, we've had a couple of real nice dinners since this got started, and they love it.
Laura's not alone, fretting over food insecurity. Early results reveal almost 40% of seed money goes to the dinner table, about a quarter to purchases at big box stores, and the rest mainly on utilities, auto care, and medical expenses. Encouraging news as the push for guaranteed income gains steam.
From day one, $1,000 a month for every American adult.
But this vision for economic equality.
One of the answers, it seems to me, is a guaranteed annual income.
Dates back to MLK.
I learned about basic income from studying Dr. King.
Critics counter the money could be misused or dampen efforts to get a job. But in Stockton, Seed Director Suki Samra sees upside.
If we're able to give people an income floor of $500 a month, that they're able to take more risks, that they're able to get new jobs if they want to.
Samra says some have already found full-time work, and others...
It's like being able to breathe.
A renewed sense of dignity and empowerment. They're hoping this brief boost takes root elsewhere, giving families the fertile ground they need to thrive. Sam Brock, NBC News, Stockton.
Well, still ahead, a devastating earthquake rocks Puerto Rico early this morning. We'll have a look at the damage when we come back. Welcome back. Another strong earthquake rattled Puerto Rico this morning. A 5.1 magnitude quake was reported about 5 hours ago. This all comes after a stronger 5.8 earthquake hit before dawn this morning. Both quakes happened on the southwest side of the island, about 60 miles from San Juan. The quakes that unleashed small landslides, caused power to go out, and severely cracked some homes. It was one of the strongest quakes yet to hit the U.S. territory that has been shaking for the past week. There were no immediate reports of casualties, and according to the USGS, the quake struck at about 6:30 this morning just south of the island at a relatively shallow depth of 6 miles. Meantime, 6 months after a magnitude 6.4 and 7.1 earthquakes hit Ridgecrest, the city is still rebuilding and reeling from constant aftershocks. We sent our Karen Waugh back to the area last week to see how people are recovering.
While some damage in Ridgecrest has been repaired, it's people in mobile homes who've been hit the hardest. People who had the least to begin with, who are still struggling.
It really hurts.
For Bridget Scoggin, this is reality.
I was inside the house when it collapsed to the side.
This house was her dream.
It was going to be mine.
Her pride and joy.
I was buying it to own it.
Now,
it's destroyed. The floor jacks came up from the ground. There's big cracks in the walls, in the ceiling.
Her furniture, food, almost everything she owned.
Most of it got left or ruined.
And she's not alone.
There's 30 mobile homes here in this park alone that went down, and people had to sign it over because there was no help.
To this day, those homes remain knocked off their foundations, still red tagged, no repairs in sight.
Yeah, she's lost a lot.
But what she hasn't lost is a community to lift her up. 2 months after the earthquakes, the local Lions Club partnered with the Grace Lutheran Church to buy Bridget a new mobile home.
We were able to give her things like silverware and basic needs like shampoo, conditioner, and things like that. She has a home due to the community. She doesn't have a home due to just one person or one group.
With $60,000 from individual donors, the club helped house more than 100 people like her.
I liked the fact that Ridgecrest draws together when there's a time of need.
Thank you. Thank you. Without them, I would not even have this. I would literally be in a dining room on an air mattress or out on the streets.
Her new home sits just blocks away from her old one.
So I'm grateful to have this, but I miss my home.
A reminder of her loss, a reminder of her trauma, a reminder how there's hundreds more like her who need support.
Don't forget Ridgecrest. You know, we may be a small town, but people are suffering still, and they need help.
Karen Hua, 17 News.
And coming up tonight on 17 News at 5, Karen will have more on what people in the Ridgecrest area are going through 6 months after those devastating quakes. You can catch her story tonight at 5. When we come back, cinnamon rolls for a good cause.
Welcome back this Wednesday. You can join us at Compassion Corner for our first fundraiser of the year.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. KGET is teaming up with the Alzheimer's Disease Association of Kern County for its annual Cinnamon Roll Drive. You're watching video from last year. And last year, the association raised more than $25,000 for programs that support locals with Alzheimer's and their families. It's happening at 22nd and L Street, right across the street from our station. The sale begins at 6 a.m. and rolls keep coming out until they sell out. For $10, you can get an 8-pack of rolls, and of course it all goes to the 88 KC. And you can text ahead by texting Hodels to 41444. We should also let you know an update on that BPD crash. Minor injuries, more on KGET.com.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.